Welcome back to the Marathon series in depth. Curioser and Curioser takes place in a portion of the fort garrison that is within the swamps of Lowan. This is an action-packed map where we get to see the Flicta fighting against troopers and cyborgs. This level was designed by Jason Jones, and here's what he had to say about it. A precursor to the symmetry of Begging for Mercy Makes Me Angry, which is a better level. If you take a look at the map layout for Begging for Mercy Makes Me Angry, you will find that the center of the map is circular with paths off, which has similarity to this level. It is different enough, however, that we wouldn't think the maps are similar if Jason hadn't told us that they are. I think Jason may have been referring to the concept of the level having a sort of central area with a bunch of rooms or areas off the central area that you have to go in order to hit switches, break circuits, heal, or save the game. Curioser and Curioser has a bunch of rooms you have to go to from the central sort of loop, and you keep returning to the central loop. When we get to Begging for Mercy Makes Me Angry, you will find that it sort of has a sort of similar style with a sort of central area that connects the rest of the map. The level name Curioser and Curioser is a quote from the well-known book Alice's Adventure in Wonderland by Lewis Clark. Alice says this phrase a couple of times in Chapter 2 to express how things are getting stranger and stranger. I'm not sure whether this level name fits the level very well, however, I suppose it hints at the things we are going to find later in the game as we finish up in the fort garrison and continue on into the citadel. Now let's jump into the level. Alright guys, welcome to Curioser and Curioser. This level has a lot of enemies we need to fight, and we're not going to fight them fair because there's just too many of them. And this is an example of that. I'm going to try to let them kill themselves. There's some more enemies we didn't activate apparently. There's a shield recharge station there. And that isn't the only one by far. They're just gonna slowly clear out this area. Look at him, the trooper doesn't even do anything. The trooper didn't care about his life. Okay, we have a bunch of these panels we need to break in order to beat the level. Just kind of exploring this area. Let's go back up here. I forgot this little shield recharge station was here, so there's another shield recharge station you can use. There's really one really close by actually, so it's kind of like silly it's there, almost. I mean, it's just right through this door. There's a bunch of enemies right here. Honestly, we could cheese them with this door. A ton of these like little octagonal rooms have letting them kill each other is definitely the way to go. Here's another shield recharge station. Gotta be careful what you shoot in this kind of. Honestly, the sludge helps us against the cyborg, so let's go ahead and activate this, or read this. It's another beautiful day in the fort garrison. Sorry you started out so far from this terminal, but the place is flooded and filled with exploding or short-circuiting forward machines. My capacity to teleport without error has been impaired by the electromagnetic interference. Our little trick with the forward defense drones didn't work as well as I had hoped. Apparently, when the beeping Gnar attempted to retake Epsilon Ebia from the fort 2 decades ago, they used similar tactics, and our friends here were prepared for it. The garrison floods, and with the floods come the native Flicta. The four are finding them everywhere. While they're busy, I'd like you to log on to a 4 computer system. You'll have to destroy at least 2 fail-safes first, and then find the terminal itself. Maybe we'll learn something new. Have fun. I'm not sure if it has already been pointed out anywhere, but I think the first line in this terminal is a reference to the intro song for the show Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. I think this is just Bungie continuing to portray Durandal as a crazy and jolly AI. Durandal tells us that this portion of the fort garrison is flooding. That reminds me of a couple of levels we have played earlier. It seems that Bungie likes the trend of having Flicta on levels in a fort garrison with flooding or some sort of sewer. I guess we are on the once marshy world of Lowan after all. Durandal also mentioned that the flooding brought the Flicta, which I suppose makes sense as the Flicta probably prefer the marsh. It seems that this short-circuiting means we have to go through a little bit more work to get to the exit for this level. We have to wonder though if it is safe to traverse the sewer water when there is electromagnetic interference. Durandal tells us that the defense probes didn't work as well as he hopes, and he blames the Gnar using this method against the 4 2 decades ago for this. According to the Marathon 2 manual, we arrived at Lowan 17 years ago after the events on Tau Ceti. This means that the 4 conflict with the Gnar at Epsilon Ebia occurred within just a few years of the events on Tau Ceti. It is unclear if 2 decades is a rounded number, so I am not sure we can assume that it is exactly 3 years before. Doing a quick Google search shows us that Ebia is one of the second largest Greek islands in terms of area and population. It seems that this is another case where Jason Jones' college major in classics with a focus in ancient Mediterraneans came into play. This place comes up one more time in Marathon 2 on Feel the Noise, but I'll remind you when we get there. The terminal image shows what is presumably a couple of Gnar hiding around the corners from a defense probe. There is a photo in the Marathon scrapbook showing Robert McLeese working on this image in Bungie's office. On the Marathon story page, there's a short piece written about the Gnar that we will discuss at the end of this video. Durandal tells us that we need to disable a couple of fail-safes to log on to a 4 computer system. It seems that we are still searching for the 4 computers for anything we can learn about the missing fake land. We can't use this yet because there's a switch over here. Just right here. And now we can go back and save. It kind of seems like a somewhat unnecessary step to reach this pattern buffer, especially when there's a lot of other pattern buffers, as you'll soon see. It seems like having that switch activated is a little unnecessary, but it is what it is. I'm just kind of exploring this kind of outer moat. See, like, here's another one. Like, how far away is that? It's like, was it really necessary to... Anyways, I'm not really trying to be critical. I just thought it was strange. Seems like the cyborg doesn't want to come down here for some reason. Must be an elevation change here. He has a tough time navigating the elevation change in the sludge. Seems to be a common problem. Well, we cleared out that area, so let's go back inside here and clear it some more. Looks like some enemies had some fights while we were... Might as well run around and activate enemies. There's some more troopers up here. Let them all join the fun and kill each other. I'm eating too many. Jeez. Let's go heal. Just bring them all to this shield recharge station so I can heal while I kill them. Seems like a good strat, right? How do you do it that way? I don't think I did over here. Well, I guess it just circles the same way. You know, this is just becoming a sort of maze. I explored this outer circle already, so yeah, so I already did that. I'll just keep checking these doors. Oh, jeez. I got him. Let's explore in here. There's another breakable panel that I need to break to get to the end of the level. So that's my second one. There's 3 breakable panels. Just clearing out enemies. I really don't even need to kill all these guys, but I just feel like it's the right thing to do. The morally right thing to do is kill all these 4, right? Don't you guys think so? Okay, I'm gonna go back to this shield recharge station. This is kind of the one I like to run back to. It just seems like the most convenient for me, but it's not the only one you can go to. Just seeing a thing that goes up. I think I need to go. Honestly, maybe I should go this room first. Seems like they're fighting some other people. Let's get them back. Come back to the door and kill yourself. There we go. Save some ammo there. Another save pattern buffer. As if we didn't have enough. Got him to attack the cyborg. Seems that they forgot about me. Alright, and then you come in here. And all that's really in here, there's really nothing in here. What's this? I thought there was some ammo in here though. Maybe it only includes the multiplayer. I'll have to check. Okay, so I think we pretty much explored all this central area before. I mean, maybe there's a couple ammo or something in this, but... the amount of bullets these guys eat is kind of ridiculous. Oh, I forgot, I need to hit those switches. Oh well. Shotgun there. We're just gonna let's just run by these guys, let them bring up some more guys. Bring them all back to the shield recharge station. Let them kill each other a little bit, you know. Oh, all those bullets missed. You know, we can start clearing out. Some nice ammo there. You could jump back into the kind of middle center sewer circle, whatever you want to call it. I'm sure there's a few more enemies in here. These nades are so much easier to deal with when you're in this sewage. I'm just going close to him so I can get more out of the sewage so it's easier to shoot him. Honestly, this level does take quite a bit longer because there's so many enemies to deal with. It's just a bit obnoxious. So there's a staircase right here. There's some ammo here somewhere. Getting out up here. There's extra ammo. Because we need it. Okay, go under here. And this kind of takes you back into the circle, as you can see. You could easily, if you have trouble getting out, just like shoot your assault rifle or pistol even, and that'll help you get out if you have trouble. It's like, why waste my ammo when I can just let them kill each other? Okay, Okay, now we kind of killed everything. We still have full health. Outer circle is cleared. Now we can pretty much finish the level. So let's probably might as well just jump. You could take that underwater way, or you could just go this way. Actually, this pattern buffer, was that here? No. Where was it? I think it's off. There. Here we can save real quick. Seriously, this level does get confusing. Wait, where am I? I feel like I wouldn't buy where I needed to go. And I really did. So we gotta jump across both of these once we raise the platforms. There's a few enemies in this one. Because it's in close quarters, I'm using my assault rifle. Kind of stun lock him. We can break this panel to get the last door. Let's go. And then we can just jump across the other side. Now the two other doors we opened up with the, what am I thinking? There was 3 doors to get to that final terminal. 2 of them we got by, I need to stop saying, 2 of them we got from the breakable panels we broke. This terminal no longer works after you break the last circuit that we broke from jumping across the platforms. But now we can jump across and end the level. So this level can take, I mean, if I just went to the objectives and didn't like explore the level, it would be fairly quick. But once you explore everything, it does take a little longer. Alright, let's read this final terminal. I am disappointed the 4 computer was not truly self-aware and contained no information of value to us. 4 technology seems quite advanced, but their programmers must be incompetent. I downloaded the machine and then eradicated it. It is obvious that the 4 knew nothing of the 11th clan. We must begin searching the ancient Spit Citadel now. I think the portion of this message that shows disappointment in the 4 computer not being self-aware may have been left in the game by mistake. In the final game, I don't think there is any inclination that the 4 AI should be self-aware. If you look at the original level notes for Sharon Doesn't Make Change, there is a couple of portions of text about a self-aware AI, and I've discussed them before. There is a self-contained 4 artificial personality here, isolated from the network. I assume that it is directing the 4's search operations, and that it possesses all the information discovered in the 15 years the 4 have been on Lo-1. When you arrive, I will provide you with an uplink chip to install so that I may access this computer. I am disappointed. The 4 computer was not truly self-aware. The aliens' computer technology seems quite advanced, but their programmers must be pathetic. I would suspect the 4 are extremely interested in capturing a human AI like myself for study. Regrettably, I was unable to learn much of practical use from your mission. The 4 have been on Lo-1 for nearly 15 years and have not found the slightest clue as to the whereabouts of the 11th clan. For the latter half of the period, they have largely abandoned their search and have been waiting for us to arrive. It almost seems like portion of this text appeared in the final version of this very terminal. Regardless, it seems that Durandal has downloaded everything the 4 knew, and it doesn't seem to be much. We are now heading to the Spit Citadel to search for the missing Spit clan. One question we might ask ourselves is, what is the Spit Citadel? Durandal first mentioned the Spit Citadel of antiquity on Come and Take Your Medicine. I think the assumption we have to make is that Durandal found out about the Citadel from either the Spit on his side or from our time searching Lo-1. In the original level notes, you actually started to explore the Citadel on the 3rd level, Sharon Doesn't Make Change. This level can be made much easier if you just take your time and allow the Flicta to fight the cyborgs and troopers for you. Half the time the troopers and cyborgs end up killing each other also. Feel free to run around the enemies a bit here and there to get them to kill each other. From the start, if you go to the right and then through the first door on your right, you'll run into a ×2 shield recharge station just into the sewage. This level, like a lot of the other levels, is made much easier once you get access to a shield recharge station. There is also a ×2 shield recharge station on the southernmost portion of the map in the outer circle if you need to heal out there. One thing you do need to be careful of is how you shoot your weapon when you are in the sludge. You might end up eating a grenade or plasma pistol shot when it hits a sludge surface right in front of your face. The sludge does make the enemy cyborgs bouncing grenades a lot easier to deal with, however. This map has a lot of ammo that appears in the small octagonal rooms. I would recommend going into all these rooms to see if ammo appears. There are only 4 other places on the map where ammo appears. One is some fusion pistol ammo that appears in the room with the oxygen recharge station. This is up the narrow set of stairs and then to the left. The second is an assortment of ammo that appears at the underwater stairs that takes you from the outer moat to the inner circle. This staircase can be pretty easy to miss, but you can find it on the northeast corner of the map. On the west portion of the outer circle is a small building you can get inside that contains some additional ammo. This building is also handy because it creates a way for you to jump back into the inner circle. The last set of ammo that appears you definitely want to pick up because it contains a shotgun. The shotgun and shotgun ammo is on each side of the re-entrant wall on the northwest outer edge of this outer circle. Since the gun and ammo is hidden under the sludge, you might even pick it up on accident without realizing you got it. This is definitely something you don't want to miss, since the double shotguns allows you to kill enemies the fastest of all the weapons in the game. There are several switches and breakable panels on this level. When you play through the level, you will probably find yourself breaking panels and hitting switches and having no clue if they actually did anything helpful. Of course, I have to explain all of these in detail. On the southern side of the inner sludge circle is a switch and a column that you can toggle on and off. This switch turns the pattern buffer a bit to the east on and off. It also looks like it is supposed to do something with the terminal that is nearby this pattern buffer, but it doesn't look like it actually does anything. There's a switch right next to the oxygen recharge station that turns the lights to the oxygen recharge station on and off. To my surprise, I could recharge my oxygen meter even when the switch was off, which I am not sure was the intent of the original design. I think what is going on here is that the oxygen recharge station is set to work if the light is high enough. Since the light flickers, it will work when the light flicks on for a second. How strange. At the north end of the map, there are 2 staircases that overlook the outer circle, and you can see switches across. At both of these 2 areas, you have to shoot a switch that raises the platform and then you can jump across. The switch that you have to shoot on the right is partially hidden, which I think was a poor design choice because I am sure quite a few players got stuck not understanding what they were supposed to do here. When you jump across either platform, you will notice a thick door that is blocking the way to the final terminal. This is actually 3 doors, and we need to break 3 panels to open the doors and reach the final terminal. One of these breakable panels is across the platform you have to jump across to the left and opens to the center of the 3 doors. Note that this breakable panel also disables the only other terminal on this level, so make sure you had a chance to read the terminal before breaking this panel. There is a breakable panel just to the right of the center of this map that you get to from the inner circle. When you break this panel, it will open up the last door to the final terminal. There is another breakable panel just to the northwest of the center of the map that you also get to from the inner circle. When you break this panel, it will open the first door to the final terminal. Note that if you break the panel by the final terminal first, the light at this breakable panel will be flickering. I think Jason may have been originally requiring that the panels be broken in order, but I cannot be for sure. This definitely would have made the level more similar to Begging for Mercy Makes Me Angry if he did. If you use some cheats to reach the final terminal before unlocking the final 3 doors, you will find that Bungie has prepared a message for any such cheater. It's kind of funny that Bungie put this in the game. In Aleph 1, if you type the following message into the command console, you will be able to teleport inside the room and read this message. Note that the doors block the path don't have a texture on the far side because you cannot see the side of the door without cheating. Well, that's it for this mission. Before I end the video, I want to talk a little bit about the Gnar. There isn't much in the game about the Gnar, but there are actually a few more pieces of lore about the Gnar that exist outside the game. There was the map writing about the Gnar on Xthera, but that really doesn't tell us anything interesting. The Marathon scrapbook has some concept art for the Gnar with the caption that reads, "The Gnar also never made it into the game." This suggests that perhaps there were originally plans to make the Gnar fightable in one of the Marathon sequels. There is also a couple quotes in the Marathon scrapbook about a portion of text written by Robert McLeese that never made it in the final game. This is actually a shortened portion of a longer text. If you take a look at the Marathon story page under Art by Craig Mullins, you will find a peculiar image that was titled Sarge. A secret terminal on the final level in Marathon 2 has a short message from Jason Jones. In that terminal, Jason mentions the Gnar, and the image from Craig Mullins very well depicts what Jason discusses in this terminal. It really isn't a spoiler, so I'll go ahead and read the portion of the terminal here. A wise Gnar once said, "A nebulon under the foot is worth two behind a plasma cannon." But the Gnar are still waiting for their mythical savior with Green Pea to fly their coal-powered interstellar battle wagons to glory against the nebulons. Those are nebulons under Sphere's feet, by the way. Seems nobody likes the nebulons. The Gnar, who speak entirely in metaphor, call Chicago the limitless, unforgiving sky, the prison which will forever watch over our graves in the winter. Too bad it's winter. Most of this really doesn't tell us anything, but it does reveal that this image by Craig Mullins appears to be Craig's interpretation of the Gnar. The flying, coal-powered interstellar battle wagon would probably be the flying-looking ship in the right side of the image. I think most of what Jason is saying is just geeky gamer speak and not anything serious we can really derive from. Anyways, on this same webpage, Amish Sinclair revealed the full piece about the Gnar written by Robert McLeese. It appears that this piece was provided to Amish to help with putting the Marathon scrapbook together. Here's the full piece provided by Robert. The Gnar. The Gnar sprang into being exactly 1 week after the universe sprang into being. They are an ageless race of immortal beings who, in the 4 billion odd years of their existence, have yet to develop a written language. This tends to hinder their scientific endeavors as they speak entirely in metaphor. A note about Gnar language. Each family has its own metaphorical style, and each district has its own colloquialisms. This, combined with an individual's own personal lyrical styling, make the Gnar language impossible to fathom by any but the most gifted linguists. In the beginning, about 4 days after they sprang into being, they grew tired and fell asleep. The next morning, all but 12 of them awoke at daybreak. Fearing the worst, somebody might trip over them, and not yet realizing they were immortal, those still sleeping were entered in what is now known as the coil revealed by sorrow. To this day, the Gnar still look to the ancestors for wisdom, but as always, the ancestors want nothing more than release from their burial cairn, so the Gnar usually leave saying something akin to, "Let us be as clouds," until the rumbling of the cairn become as wind through the grass. The entire Gnar homeworld has been developed. That is to say that the entire surface of the planet has a 3-story building built on it. In other words, the Gnar homeworld is encased in a 3-story structure that covers every square inch of the planet's surface. On the lowest level, or ground floor, we have the Gnar, the laborers and foot soldiers of the Gnar. Living in the next level, or mezzanine, are the Knar, the artists and artificers of the Gnar. At the highest level, living proof that the filth rises to the top of any medium, are the Kfnar and the CFN commandos. The Kfnar are the ruling elite of the Gnar, mostly managers or scientific research facilities and heads of huge industrial combines. And the CFN commandos are warriors and leaders of distinction, though the CFN commandos usually go up to the roof to hone their martial arts and tend the sod. A note on the Gnar weaponry. The weapon of choice of the CFN commandos is the menacing Fist of Steel. The fist is a sturdy hardwood cudgel that has magnetic field generators built into the grip that align at the cudgel's atoms, making it strong as steel. Rumors of the fist covered in steel plates have been floating around for years, but no examples have ever been recovered. The Gnar have never personally developed any ranged weapons for the individual, though they will gladly scoop up any firearm dropped by a fallen enemy. They toyed with a shoulder-fired missile for a while, but at 9 foot long and 280 pounds, the weapon was unwieldy at best, not to mention the cost and time involved in training the small primate who piloted the projectile after launch. There is only one group of Gnar that come to the realization that they are, in fact, immortal, or at least extremely long-lived. These are the scientific crews of the ships, Devourer of Worlds on a leash, and immense lustrous comet hiding in shadows, manufactured from the sum total of the natural resources of the planet, lifeless air-soaked rock, and its moon, respectively. These ships and their crews embarked on the Grand Endeavor just over 2 billion years ago from the system neighboring the Gnar system. The Grand Endeavor was an undertaking of the greatest importance to the Gnar, to measure the diameter of the universe to the nearest whole inch. This was to be achieved by tethering the smaller of the two craft to the larger with a sturdy chain, and once they reached one edge of the universe, the smaller craft would then travel to the other side. The larger of the two craft would house several mining craft and a massive manufacturing flag dedicated to the creation of the chain. A note about Gnar spacecraft. Describing a Gnar spacecraft as mind-numbingly huge would be a monumental understatement. Their smallest craft, a 2-man scout, is roughly 4 times the size of the Hindenburg, while their largest craft, the world ships, are exactly what it sounds like. A spacecraft the size of a planet's constructed out of the sum total of a planet's natural resources. They are powered by hyper-efficient coal-burning engines that are capable of propelling the massive crafts at nearly 1/10 the speed of light. About half of a Gnar's ship hull is given over to a giant coal hopper situated on top of the small warp generator that transports the fuel directly into the coal-burning engine, as the warp generator can only transport things within the confines of the ship's gravity well. There is certainly a lot of interesting information about the Gnar. I am very thankful that Robert McLeese was able to provide this piece to the Marathon community so that we can enjoy a little bit of what writing about these alien species may have looked like behind the scenes. As far as this piece for the Gnar, I'm not going to delve deeper into it to explain it, as it really doesn't add anything to the Marathon story, and it's just best to let Robert's words speak for themselves and let our imaginations run wild on what the Gnar may have looked like. Perhaps Bungie will include the Gnar in their new game in development somehow. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. The next level is Eat It Vidboy, which starts the next chapter titled Citadel. See you all then.